So all of you have played with a paper wheel. As children we played with paper wheel. We run against the wind. So sometimes the wheel will be rotating in anti-clockwise direction. Then curl is positive. Sometimes the wheel rotates in clockwise direction if the wind thrust is in that direction. So curl is negative. Sometimes you try very hard, the wheel does not rotate, then the curl is 0. So you should know the mathematical definition of divergence, mathematical definition of curl. In today's lecture I am trying to cover 4 Maxwell's equations. In any examination, out of the 4 Maxwell's equations, you will get 2 derivations. So if you can understand the 4 Maxwell's equation, what I am going to do today, you are going to back go into 1632 marks. So please concentrate on the derivations. So if we have to do the derivations, we should know the meaning of curl F. Curl F is work done divided by area. If F is distance, if F is force, L is distance, F dot L is work done, that divided by small area. So if curl of a particular field is 0, such a field is called irrotational field. Let me take a distance vector. I will draw a distance vector from that point to this point. So this distance vector is fixed. That point is fixed, this point is fixed, and the distance vector is fixed. There is no rotation for this. If there is no rotation for this distance vector, curl of the distance vector is 0. If I take curl of the blade of this fan blade is rotating in clockwise direction, so curl F is negative. If I take the velocity of the blade of the exhaust fan, curl V is negative. Curl V is positive. So there it is positive. In the case of table fan, it is negative. So you have studied in mathematics 3 coordinate systems. Cartesian coordinate system, the variables x, y, z. Then cylindrical coordinate system, rho is radius, phi is angle, z is vertical distance. Spherical coordinate system, r, theta, phi, r is radius, theta is the angle measured from z axis to the radius vector, phi is the angle measured from x axis to the projection, to the horizontal projection of the radius vector. So when a problem is given how to differentiate between the 3 coordinates, he may not mention. If all 3 are distances, all are in meters, it is Cartesian coordinate system. 2 in meters, rho and z in meters, phi in degrees, then it is cylindrical coordinate system. 1 coordinate in meters, other 2 in degrees, then it is spherical. So the units are, the combination of the units are different for each coordinate system. Any student would like to do the problem using Cartesian coordinate system because you are brought up with that system for several years. But in fields you find whenever you deal with conductors, in electrostatics you will be dealing with conductors. So conductor is cylindrical in shape, their cylindrical coordinate system will be useful. Similarly in magnetics, you do magnetic field, you do a straight conductor and all that. So when you deal with conductors, cylindrical coordinate system will be easier. In electrostatics, you talk about spherical body, spherical capacitor. So when you are dealing with spherical capacitor, spherical body, spherical coordinate system will be useful. So whether you like or you don't like, you have to learn the other 2 coordinate systems because some of the derivations will be using these coordinate systems. So electrostatics, this is an experiment done by Faraday. Faraday's experiment on concentric spheres. Faraday's experiment on concentric spheres. So which explains the concept of induction. What is induction? This first page people are talking. So by looking at them, second page people are talking. And by looking at them, third page people are talking. So third bench people are influenced by second bench people and they are influenced by the first bench people. That is induction. Can you give one more example for induction? Induction means influence. Induction means influence. I will sit here and sleep nicely. Then what all of you will be doing? What happens in LKG, UKG afternoon classes? What do you mean by heads down period? Teacher will be sleeping, all the children will be sleeping because the children are influenced by the teacher. So that is sleeping induction. Right? And you ask for some food, specific food from your house because all your classmates are getting pizza or all your classmates are getting some chicken. So you also want that chicken. So that is food induction. You are influenced by your neighbors. So here it is electrostatic induction. An uncharged body is kept near the charged body. After some time, this uncharged body gets charged. Faraday tried this for different sizes of the spheres. He has tried this for different insulation between the spheres. In all the cases, he got the same answer. The charge on the outer sphere is equal to the charge on the inner sphere. Only thing it is negative. Then he said something happens, something starts from the inner sphere and moves to the outer sphere. He called that as displacement. Electric flux starts from the positive charge, terminates at the negative charge. Then two flux lines do not intersect each other. You draw a tangent to that line, it gives the direction of electric field intensity. So what is Gauss law? So I am coming to very first Maxwell's equation. I promised you that I will cover 4 Maxwell's equation. So the very first Maxwell's equation is Gauss law. So some time back we said sun produces heat. We said a flower produces fragrance and students continuously produce noise. More number of students, more noise. Less number of students, less noise. So Gauss law says the noise coming out of a class is directly proportional to the number of students. So charged body produces flux. So let me count all the flux lines. So the flux is proportional to the charge and he found the proportionality constant to be 1. So psi is equal to Q. Flux coming out is equal to charge enclosed. 10 coulombs, 10 lines. 20 coulombs, 20 lines. U coulombs, Q lines. So flux coming out of a charged body is equal to the charge within that body. So divide by small volume delta V. Psi by delta V is Q by delta V. So Q by delta V, charge by volume is charge density rho and the net outflow of flux by volume is called, left hand side net outflow of flux by volume is called divergence of, mathematical definition of divergence, net outflow divided by small volume. Tell me what is delta V? Tell me what is delta V? Delta V means infinitesimal volume. So can you give some examples for delta V? When you are sitting in the classroom, first bench people are receiving lot of delta V's from the teacher. Because your teacher is using chalk piece. Chalk piece dust is coming, that dust is entering into your nose. So you find small particle, each particle is a delta V. So each and every one of you in your nose, at least there are some 100 delta V's. So delta V is a infinitesimal volume. So this is the first Maxwell's equation. Diode is equal to rho. So we have to know about conductors. So what do you know about conductors? Ideal conductor. What do you know about ideal conductor? I think we have given the surface potential at every point on the surface is equal. No charge inside the conducting block. So to understand this point, again we will take the example of LKG classroom or pre-KG classroom. So pre-KG classroom, very first time the child enters into the school, what happens on the first day? On the first day, if you take the child to the pre-KG class, the teacher will say, leave your child here, do not stay anywhere here, get out of the school. So 30 children enter into the pre-KG classroom, they will be pushed into the classroom and the classroom will be locked. And all the 30 children will be coming to the windows and they will be crying. Please relieve us from this classroom. Nobody can control them. So you cannot keep 30 children inside a pre-KG classroom. You cannot keep 30 charges inside a conducting block. So when you leave a bunch of charges, the charges will be reaching the boundary. Charges will remain on the boundary of the conductor. They cannot stay inside the conductor. So electric field is perpendicular to the surface because the equipotential surface and electric field are always perpendicular. So what happens in this conductor? There is something called law of conservation of charge. You have one equation based on law of conservation of charge. So what is this law of conservation of charge? I think you can tell by looking at the name. Charge can neither be created nor destroyed. So there is some amount of charge here. It starts from this point, goes like this. It is attracted by the positive terminal. Then the electrons will move through the electrolyte and then like this. So electrons are continuously moving. Existing electrons cannot be destroyed. New electrons cannot be added. Current is a mad dog. It goes round and round. Three conditions are to be satisfied. I need a conductor, I need a source, and circuit must be closed. This conductor has some resistance. I have a voltage source and circuit is closed. Current is a mad dog. It goes round and round in this circuit. So you can say current is a mad dog, goes round and round, or you can say charge is going round and round and new charge is not added, existing charge cannot be destroyed. Such a concept is called law of conservation of charge. So in that circuit, if I apply more voltage, I have more current. If I apply less voltage, less current. So you should know Ohm's law in vector form. Ohm's law in vector form. Ohm's law, you know, in scalar form, current is proportional to the voltage and that proportionality constant is G, where G stands for conductance. Conductance is 1 by resistance. So I is G into V, or I is equal to V by R. If I simplify that, I will get J equal to sigma E, which means the direction of the current density and direction of electric field intensity will be same.
Sound voice
So direction of electric field intensity and direction of current density will be same. That's what Ohm's law says. If you see here, electric field is away from positive towards the negative. Current density is also in this direction. So the direction of current density and direction of electric field will be the same. Ohm's law says J and E will have same direction because sigma is a scalar, where sigma is conductivity. So summary of electric field. Electric field has divergence. Di D is rho, D is epsilon E, di V is rho by epsilon. So this equation tells you that for electric field divergence exists. And you have to know what is conservative property. So tell me what is conservative property. Some of your classmates are conservative. They bring some lunch box, curd rice. They don't want to give the curd rice to anybody and they don't want to accept curd rice from anybody. So such a fellow is conservative. Is it not? Some very studious people, they don't want to give their books, they don't want to get the books also. So net work done is 0. So you take a field, in that field you take one full round. If the net work done is 0, the field is called conservative field. Example, gravitational field. So I will take a stone, I will raise the stone, then release it. What will happen? I am lifting a stone and then releasing. Then mathematics I will do, work done is equal to 100 joules in lifting the stone from this point to this point. Work released is also 100 joules. So plus 100 minus 100, what is the answer? So gravitational field is a conservative field. In the gravitational field, the work done in lifting the stone is given back when it is released. So the net work done is 0. So if the net work done is 0, integral of dl is 0. That by delta S curl E is 0. So for electric field, divergence will be existing and curl will be vanishing. So dielectrics. Dielectric means two charges separated by small distance. You have polar dielectric and you have non-polar dielectric. In the polar dielectric, there is a separation between the charges, but they are randomly oriented. In non-polar dielectrics, initially the center of positive charge and center of negative charge will be coinciding. But when electric field is applied, a small separation takes place. That process is called polarization. We have studied in +2. Polarization means when electric field is applied, a small separation takes place between positive charge and negative charge. Ionic polarization, we can explain where you have ionic bonds. If the material exhibits ionic bond, when electric field is applied, between positive ion and negative ion, there will be a small separation. So if there is a small separation between positive ion and negative ion, it is called ionic polarization. Electronic polarization means if you apply electric field between the center of the positive charge and between the center of the negative charge, there will be a small separation. When you apply electric field, the electrons will be moving. The electron center will be shifting with respect to the center of the positive charges. Such a polarization